My family is a magnet for the paranormal, and a few summers ago, my elderly mother broke her foot, so I moved into her place to take care of her. She has Alzheimer's, and at that stage, she also has a bladder infection, which I didn't know about right away, and those can cause all manner of weird things in the elderly, like hallucinations and mood swings, all of which my mother was experiencing. She also would see people on the front porch who weren't there, and once insisted cats were trapped in a shed out back, and she could hear them crying, although again, nothing was there. So I kept taking her to different doctors to try and find out what's going on. Anyways, I'd been there about 3 months when I'm in the bathroom one night getting ready to take a shower. I put on the bathroom fan, and I suddenly hear footsteps running down the hall. I yank on my robe and yank the door open, trying to figure out what's going on because there's nobody there but me and my mom. And with a broken foot, she's not running. And there's nobody there. So I close the door, take a shower, and then as I get out of the shower, I hear what distinctly sounds like little kids giggling outside the door. Again, I freak out. I yank open the door, and nothing. No one is there. I grab up a bat that my mom kept in her bedroom and then go from room to room, searching to see if anything got in, and nothing. I tell myself it's the sound the fan makes in the bathroom, and it's just me imagining things. And I go to bed. Nothing happens the rest of the night. However, over the next 3 days, every time I go into the bathroom and turn on the fan, I could swear I hear kids, but not loudly. Sort of in that quiet, giggly way when you have a bunch of little kids sneaking around trying not to get caught and having fun. I take to leaving the door open and nothing, but the minute I close the door, they're back. I even shut the fan off, but still I hear those noises the minute the door is closed, but nothing when it's open. I don't really get scared, because I don't sense any maliciousness to whatever is going on. And I've encountered malicious spirits before, so yeah, I just kept thinking this might or might not be something. I'm not getting really worried. But it's just kind of unsettling to be using the bathroom and hear what sounds like a group of little kids moving through the house late at night. A week after this phenomena has started, I have to take my mom to a doctor's appointment. I load her in the car, and as we're just turning to go onto the main road, she looks back at our house and says, "Ha, you little bastards, run." I look in my rearview mirror to see what she's talking about and ask her what's up. Those little bastards, they've been jumping on the beds and running down the hall and making all that noise finally left. I told them they'd better go before I get back or I was calling the sheriff to come get them. I slow the car down and pull off the road and ask my mom what she's talking about. She proceeds to tell me that occasionally a group of kids would break into her house, run from room to room, hide under the beds, and generally just make mischief at all hours of the day and night. My mom then tells me, "It lasts until I'm no longer amused and then I tell them to get out before I call someone to take them away." I ask my mom how long this has been going on and she tells me she doesn't remember. I then stare at her and ask, "Are these ghosts? Are you seeing ghosts, Mom?" Because yeah, this is not the first time in the family something like this has happened. She then shoots me a disgusted look and tells me, "Ghosts? Honestly, you're just crazy sometimes, you know. There's no such thing as ghosts." She then starts to mutter about her crazy daughter, the one who apparently sees ghosts, and we drive on with me freaking out, wondering what just happened. That day, after we return home, I again go through the place looking for unlocked windows and anything. Nope, all shut and locked. I go into the bathroom, turn on the fan and wait. Nothing. And I've never heard them again, or anything like it since, even after I moved in fully to take care of my mom permanently. Apparently, those little bastards took my mom seriously that time and have not come back since. It was around winter in 2008. I was 25. My friend C had told me a couple of times over the years how she had a demon that followed her. I, being a complete non-believer, thought it was exciting. The fact that one of my friends, who had no reason to make something like this up, and was so adamant about it being true, intrigued me. Of course, I replied something along the lines of, "You're probably having nightmares." So C said, "Spend the night and see," which I did. It's a big mistake. So I spent the night the next weekend. She had a 2-bedroom apartment, and her roommate, we'll call her B, we weren't close at all with her, and her boyfriend are asleep in the bedroom. We fall asleep in C's room, no problem. Then, next thing I know, I'm having a nightmare. I'm stuck in a doorway, like sitting on my butt with my legs jammed in the door, trying to keep this door open. And this black thing is slamming the door shut repeatedly on me. Suddenly I'm awake. It's about midnight, and I wake up with a complete feeling of dread. I realize I'm paralyzed. What felt like forever was in reality a few seconds. I immediately look over at C, before being able to move, and saw it. It looked like a shadow, but darker. There was no definitive shape, but it looked solid. It's really hard to describe. I saw this thing pop out of the wall and bend down, hovering over C. Meanwhile, C is choking herself lifeless with her own hands. And after a few seconds of trying to resist, I could move. I grabbed C with both my hands and had to absolutely pry her hands off her own throat. We both started crying immediately, and she said, "I told you." I have never been so scared in my life. I was sure ghosts were fake, but this just happened. We immediately went into the living room and snuggled together on the couch, trying to calm each other down. We eventually get to sleep, and boom, I'm back in the exact same dream, and the exact same thing happens. I awake once again and look towards C. We fell asleep facing opposite directions, and this thing was coming out of the wall again. This wall is on the other side of the room, which it came out of the first time. And once again, C is choking herself with both hands, and I have to pry them off her. After this, we leave. We get to my house and finally get to sleep. Around 8 a.m. we wake up. Both have missed calls from B. C calls her back, and B said that she had been trying to reach them around 3:30 a.m. because she was so scared. Apparently, she had a dream of a boy in her bathtub crying, and when she reached for him, he turned into a shadowy figure. This thing grabbed her by the wrist and said, "Where's C?" I never stayed the night again. So this happened 5 or 8 years ago. I think I was probably 11 or 13 years old at the time, and was visiting a childhood friend in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Her house had always given me the creeps. It was an older home, and her mother was partial to antiques, including a clay bust of an older man, which I never wanted to be left alone with. Parts of my memory of this event are somewhat obscure, but I'll try to include as many details as possible. I was alone in her room messing around with some jewelry of hers. Her room is on the second floor, off a smallish landing, across from a bathroom and her parents' room. All of the rooms were dark. The only light was the one in her room. My friend was downstairs, and so was her father. Her mother and younger brother, probably 7 or 8 at the time, were not home. So I was messing around in her room when out of the corner of my eye I see movement on the landing. You know when you see a shadow or something out of the corner of your eye, but when you turn to look at it, it's gone? Well, in this instance, I turned my head to look at the shadow and saw the figure of a person. My father is 6'4". This figure was at least that tall, if not taller, and my friend's father is no taller than 6 foot, with broad shoulders. I say figure because in terms of shape, it appeared as if wearing a long robe or cape pulled about itself, and was completely dark, all shadow, but distinctly human. As I said, the only source of light was coming from the room I was in, but the landing was not that big, and I could clearly see all the way across through the wall opposite me. No features of the figure were illuminated, no face, clothing, colors, textures. It was all shadow. The moment I saw it, I froze. It moved from the top of the stairs in a straight line to my friend's parents' bedroom and entered. I can't remember clearly if the door to the room was open or closed, but the figure drifted into the room. It didn't walk. It didn't really have any legs at all. Again, this was an older home with wooden flooring that usually creaked, especially on the stairs, and this figure didn't make a sound. After I went into that room, I was scared out of my mind, but I remember calling out either my friend's father's name in the hope that it was him, or just a simple hello. I can't remember which, but I got no response from the figure. It didn't acknowledge me at all. I can't remember if after that I called for my friend or just waited in terror until she came back to her room. But when she did, I told her what happened, and she told me something along the lines of, "Oh, you must have seen Stanley. He haunts our house, but you don't need to be afraid of him because he won't hurt you." I don't remember being particularly comforted by that. I've never forgotten this incident as it freaked me the fuck out. This whole thing made it much more difficult to stay calm in my friend's house, even when I was older. I've never seen that figure since, but I got the same feeling of unease whenever I returned to that house. The same discomfort I had even before I saw the figure. I've just asked my friend if she remembers Stanley, and she said, I felt his presence, but I've never seen him personally. She also said the reason she calls him Stan is because a medium told her mom about the presence in their home. We are both 18 and 19 now, and her family no longer lives in that house.